Let's get started. I'm excited about a quick tip I want to give you today. It's related to the DSBS. Obviously, that's my favorite place to go, but it's in response to a small business who reached out to me today and they asked, how do I find other construction firms that I can then potentially subcontract under as I'm building my experience within the federal government? So that's the path I'm going to follow. You can take whatever business you have and follow this same process, right? It's not a secret, it's just a process. Follow the process I do for this guy who does construction. And I'm going to do this live. I didn't do any prep on it. And the reason I did this is because I want you to understand that even for me, I got to bounce around a little bit until I find what I'm looking for. I don't know anything about construction. I can build my own deck in the backyard, but other than that, I don't know how to do government construction. I don't know how it's spent, and I don't really care. That's not my expertise, but I do know how to search. And so let's get on over here to DSBS. This is the Dynamic Small Business Search Tool. If it's your first video from me watching, I just want to remind you that there's all sorts of training videos we put on our website, govconchamber.com, and YouTube for free that teach you about how important the dynamic small business search is to small businesses in the federal sector and how to make your profile the best. So as you watch me do this searching, it's important for you to understand that if your profile is no good, then you won't be found by people like me who are searching. And imagine if it was actual buyers who were searching instead of teaming partners. Okay, so this person's coming up to Maryland from some other state, and they got a ton of experience in the past with construction. They want to get rocking and rolling here, get their feet wet in the Maryland construction area. And so what I recommended was, in their question was, how do I meet other other construction firms? My recommendation is come on in here and you just start filling out some of these filters. So let me zoom in, and I'm going to do this with you, or you're going to do it with me, one or the other. But first thing is, we said Maryland. So I'm going to choose Maryland. So I'm not looking at a lot of folks from everywhere. The next thing is, this person's actually a hub zone firm, and they're looking for other hub zone firms that they might be able to tie together with. So that's going to restrict the audience way down. I'm going to say required hub zone. And I could choose women owned 8As or STVOs, et cetera. But I'm going to come down. I'm not teaching you about this. I'm just teaching you how I do it. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to get into construction. But one of the things I noticed is that I probably want to come back and do a NAICS code search. So I'll do that in a minute. But first, let me just type in construction and see what we get. And this is, there you go. That's what I'm looking for. Actually, let's try it without the keyword first. So general nature of business, construction. I don't care about the bonding levels or any of this other stuff at the moment. I'm going to see what kind of results I get. The rest of this, I don't care. And when I say I don't care, I just mean it's not important at the moment. It's not that I don't really care. Okay, let me say, show me 100 of these, and let's just see what we got first before I show you what else I do. So we'll go ahead and search, and what happens is now the results will come back, and it'll show us capability narratives, et cetera. And what I'm looking for is companies. Okay, so I searched for in Maryland construction firms, and I have 55 to start with. That's pretty awesome. I might not even go back and look at NAICS codes actually, because this might be enough for me. So the next thing I do is I just start looking at these people in here. So this guy's electric installation, and I would bypass this person because there's not enough in there. But here, this one's ideal for me. This is a full service general contractor. And what that means in the construction world is this company that Matt Perry's running, they say they can do everything, including managing. General contractors manage the entire construction project. And so he'd be an ideal one because he might be open to subcontractors who do a specialty like electricity or plumbing, painting, whatever. And so anyways, I come in here and I take a look, and I got Matt's information. If I want to look at their website, I can do that as well. But I've got his information and his email, phone number. It's everything I need to get out and reach this person. Coming down, I can see a little bit more details about them. They're an 8A firm right now, which is pretty cool. That means they're potentially getting a lot of business. Ironically, this company that was asking me, the owner was an 8A a long time ago, and they're kind of coming back into the world. So this would be good. They'd be able to maybe talk and say how they succeeded in the past. So this is all pretty good. They're recent hub zone and 8A certification. This company is primed to get construction work. So right off the bat, I feel like I'm hitting a good one. And then services include retrofit of existing buildings, power distribution. This is perfect. What I don't see is painting as an example, right? I'm like, all right, maybe this guy doesn't do drywall as a specialty and I can sneak in and do that. And that's what you want to look at. They're bonding, so you know they're good to go. And here I can look at some of the contracts. So they're clearly used to winning some contracts. This is an ideal one. I got a little lucky there. So let me go back to the profile list. And just so you know how I would work this, I'd be looking for 10 companies initially and say, let me find those. So here I'm going to look at the next one, providing life cycle information technology. And I don't care if they do construction, I'm out of there right away. I'm looking for a firm that just does construction. Here's multidisciplinary technology consulting. I'm out of there. Anybody who's in DSBS who does both IT and construction is not a focused company in my mind. And the chances of them winning business drops when the government sees that they do all those diverse things compared to that first company, right? Matt's company, I'm assuming he's the owner, but Matt's company, they're just doing general contracting, and every part of their word leads to re-emphasizing the fact that they do construction. So let me come down here, specializing in general construction, man, in information technology. What? That's just a sidebar. You got to focus if you want success. Here's a great one. It looks like potentially they're facility support, construction, facility operations, bring in very distinct. So a nice phrase there, but so this one potentially, let me just open that in a new window. Here's another one. I'm just looking. Look at this. I read the entire first sentence of this company, this blue row, and I don't even know what they do, so I'm skipping it. It's important when you talk about things that you get it out of the way right away. That says what you do. We offer facilities management and information. Man, you do not have to do IT work if you do something else. There's billions of dollars in construction. Strategic consulting, business consulting, landscaping. So this one's interesting. Landscape, all about the outside. This might be an interesting one to team up with because they potentially have relationships with the government that if you did painting, again, maybe the two of you, they could help you get in and you can bring the subject matter expertise. Coming down, multidisciplinary contracting and consulting. It just doesn't work for me. And it might work for people. I'm not knocking it. I'm just definitely saying I don't recommend it. General construction. This is perfect, right? Right out of the gate, this company is getting my eye. Commercial institutional risk, renovation, utilities, concrete. This is the type of company I'm looking for. So let's just stop with these three. And you see the way I do it, right? I just keep coming down and there's 55. These are hub zone firms only in Maryland, one state, right? You could do the same thing in Alabama, Oklahoma, California, and find the folks who are there. You could get rid of the designation of hub zone and just broaden your audience to small business. Let's go ahead and look at this. So here we've got Vernon. I'm looking here, some basic, it's funny. Wow, a couple of 8As. I just got a little lucky here with those 8As, and they just got their hub zone. Somebody's out there selling that hub zone. Okay, so we're coming down. They need to get their bonding up. What I was looking for is whether they have past performance. It doesn't matter whether they do for this example. You want to reach out and see if you've got a connection with them. Because if you can bring a past performance, some sort of, I mean, not past performance, but a core competency and strengthen their message to the government, the fact that these guys are 8A is a bonus because it's a lot easier for them to get in the door. The SBA gives them a lot of help to develop their business, and you can just be part of that progress for those folks. Okay, so here's professional landscape, the ones I was talking about. Pamela's in here. Pamela's the CEO. So she's teamed up. I'm coming down, seeing what else I see. I don't really see anything else except she is a hub zone, and that's good as well because hub zones tend to be able to get the less risky projects, and landscaping is far less risky than data analytics, et cetera. So here we already saw what they did. Coming down, they got good bonding, some keywords and no past performance in here, but that's fine. So these people are worth reaching out to. Remember, they're the ones who are going to help us. So if we can reach out and convince them to talk to us, then you start getting in the door easier. Okay, so this is the last one I want to show. And you saw how fast I was able to do this, right? Here's a past 8A firm, and they are still hub zone, it looks like. That's funny. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm tired doing this video. even if I sound like I'm awake. I'm sitting there all excited about all these people who are hub zones, and I forgot I put that filter on. So, uh, anyways, it makes me laugh. That's all that matters right now. Coming down though, I like this because they do a broad range of outside construction. There might be room for me to fit in, and then general construction means that they're open to some additional work, inside renovation. So anybody in the construction world could probably have a good conversation with these folks. And whether they're willing to talk with you is a whole separate question. But if you can talk the talk of construction, and these guys can tell you know what you're talking about, then I find that most other small business owners will give you a shot. So these guys don't have any experience down here as well, but it's not the end of the world, but it's helpful for me to find it. Okay, so just a reminder, I'm going to back it up here, reverse engineer this. You see the results and how I looked at all these capability narratives to find a few people to call. And the way I did it was inside of DSBS. At the moment, I just selected the state I want to be in, said HubZone certified, and then down here, I chose construction. You could have easily have put in a NAICS code or a keyword to drive it even tighter. So let me try one thing really quick. Like if I wanted to do SharePoint, that's a very unique thing. 16 companies, right? So this is perfect. And anybody who's got SharePoint, there's a really good chance they're in the world I want to be in. They're not also doing construction as an example, but you see this. I'm in Maryland personally, and there's 16 firms here. So that company that reached out to me and said, how do I do it? This is how I would recommend you do it. It's a great way to get the contact information, learn a little bit about some companies that might fit. Never call the larges, call these smalls and get your experience ramped up in the federal government, in a particular agency, et cetera. And other smalls are the best path for teaming. So I hope you found the content valuable, and I think others will too, for sure. So please give it a thumbs up so they can find it. If you'd like to connect with me personally, come on over to LinkedIn. Love to have you connect with me there. We often do free training webinars that interview federal buyers. Sign up for the GovCon Chamber's email list to be notified about these opportunities. And you can do that right here at www.govconchamber.com.